Welcome to episode 22 of Discover Ocala, presented by Showcase Properties of Central Florida. I'm Valerie Dailey, your host for this podcast. In episode 22, we visit with Truman Magley of Scouting America. Let's learn more. Truman, I want to thank you for coming today.
Absolutely.
With Discover Ocala, we normally talk about events that are coming up or things that are in our community. And so this is maybe a little different. This is an event that's coming up, but it's a little more focused. So we're going to be talking about Scouting America today. And one thing about Discover Ocala, and the reason I do this podcast, is we love where we live. We love supporting the community that we have. And I have just recently learned about Scouting America, and you're the person to tell us more.
Sure. Yeah, I've been here in Marion County, I think a little over 4 years working with Scouting, and I'm an Eagle Scout as well. So I went through the program myself.
How does one get to be an Eagle Scout?
The two core programs in our organization are Cub Scouts and our Scouts BSA troops. So our Cub Scouts are for elementary school kids, age 5 all the way up to 5th grade. And then after that, they go into our middle school and high school program, which is our Scouts BSA groups. And they can continue on through that program till they turn 18. And then we have other programs that take them all the way up to 21. But to earn their Eagle Scout rank, they have to complete 21 merit badges. And then they have to do other skills assessment and character assessment. For each rank, they have to do a board with their scoutmaster where they sit down and they're essentially interviewed by their scoutmaster to make sure they're ready to move on to the next rank. Because we believe character is a very vital part of our program, and we want to make sure our Eagle Scouts maintain that brand.
Okay. So here in Ocala, how many groups do you have?
So I have 31 scout groups here in Ocala, and we're growing every day. It looks like this Friday we may have 2 more that get processed, which is great.
Okay. And tell us how one can join to become a Scout member. And also the other thing too, it used to be called Boy Scouts of America, and I understand there's a new name change to Scouting America. Give us a little history on that.
Sure. Start with the Boy Scout Scouting America piece. We still maintain an organizational name of Boy Scouts of America. We do business under Scouting America. A lot of the reasoning behind that is because I think it was about 5 years ago, we took girls into the program, and that's been a great thing for our organization. It's been great to see those girls advance and go through it. But we found that with recruitment and some other things, the name Boy Scouts of America could turn away some girls that were potentially interested in being members. So we want to make sure that we're setting our organization up to be inclusive to both boys and girls. Both names, Scouting America and Boy Scouts of America, can be used. Our council typically sticks with Boy Scouts of America because there's a lot of brand recognition there for people. Sure. People know what it is, but that's kind of why there was a little bit of a change there. It didn't affect our program at all. Kids can join starting at 5 years old. They can join anytime during the year. We have a website called beascout.org where they can find what unit is within the vicinity of their home, and it's done via zip codes, and they can find a great group in Ocala there. I'm proud to say that we've got enough groups in Ocala that you won't have to go further than 20 minutes to find a group.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's great. And so what would you expect a 5-year-old to participate in?
And I know a lot about this right now because I have a 5-year-old
that
just joined this year, and he loves it. So they get to go on campouts where they get to learn archery, and after 5 years old, they get to shoot BB guns. Our 5-year-olds don't get to quite do that yet. They get to go rock climbing. We have a rock wall at camp that they get to do. And this last meeting, my son was working on his Pinewood Derby car, which is a wooden block car that they carve, and they get to race down a track at the end of the spring. So it's a really fun event for them.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And how many kids are in a group?
So most of our dens, we try to keep at around 8 kids. It can be a little less or a little more depending on recruitment and what makes sense in that group. But we try to keep them about 8 kids because that's, especially with those younger kids, that's about all that a den leader can work with effectively.
How often do they meet? Where do they meet?
Sure. Most of our units meet once a week. And they meet at partnering organizations. So each one of our scouting units is chartered out of a local organization. That could be a church, a civic organization, and that sort of thing. That serves two purposes. Number one, it helps provide meeting space and facilities for the units, but it also helps provide additional support for the leaders and for the units. A lot of our scouts participate in Scout Sunday and other things with their local churches. So in a lot of ways, for our scouts, those partnerships is the first time they get exposed to a church, which is really great.
Right. It's awesome. When we initially spoke, you told me that some of the programs were being offered at schools.
Yes, so sometimes we will work with our schools. We're working with McIntosh Elementary right now to get a new pack going up in that area. We do recruitment every fall with all of our elementary schools. We do flyers. I visit them during the day, and then we do sign-up nights at night.
When you're doing your recruitment, what are you telling the kids? And I guess the parents as well.
Sure. The things we focus on with the kids are the fun stuff. So that they get to shoot BB guns and archery and go rock climbing and build Pinewood Derby cars, all that kind of stuff. And they get really excited about that. And then when we talk to the parents, we get into more of the meat. We discuss the structure. We discuss what to expect at the weekly meetings. We introduce them to their leaders. And we also make sure that they know that we're proud to share that every one of our leaders has to take youth protection training and gain a background check. We want to make sure youth safety is our top priority, so we make sure that parents know that, so they have that sense of security as well.
Do the parents get to participate as well?
We encourage parent participation. Scouting is a family organization, and in Cub Scouts, we routinely see not only the parents, but also the siblings come and participate and be involved. It's not out of the realm for me to have my baby strapped to my chest when I'm out walking around. It's really great to see how Scouting is an organization where you can bring the whole family and everybody can have fun.
Oh, that's great. You mentioned a camp. Is there a camp in Ocala, or what? Tell us a little bit more about the camp.
Sure. So we have two camp properties in our council, in the North Florida Council area, that our scouts in Marion County use. One is in Hawthorne. That's probably the one most used by our units, and that's Camp Chance. Beautiful property with a lot of resources for the kids. We also have a camp in Jacksonville, our St. John's River base camp, which is still fun for them to go up to do a weekend activity or something like that, and some of our units take advantage of that.
Okay, so at the camps, well, tell us a typical, when you sign up and you go to camp, what do you do when you get there? I mean, do you set up a tent?
Sure.
How do you cook?
Sure.
What are those things?
So I was just at a camp with my son. They set up a tent typically on Friday nights. We do activities for them throughout the weekend. All those things I talked about, the climbing, the shooting sports, crafts, and other activities. They get to network and hang out with other friends and other units and other groups, which is really great. But they cook their own food. They take care of themselves. They've got to handle their tent, their sleeping bag, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, with 5-year-old, we're helping them out quite a bit. As they get older, it's amazing to see our middle school and high school groups. Some of those kids are ready to go backpacking with their friends. They know all the skills and they know what they're doing.
When you're at these camps, are you also working on your merit badge?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yes. So we have our summer camp coming up that a lot of our troops will be participating in, our middle school and high school age groups. So at camp, they go through and they work on a variety of merit badges. We have some that are Eagle required, that are life-saving and stuff like that, that is first aid, that is important for every kid to know. We also have a bunch that are more hobby-based, and those are our elective merit badges, which I think are in a lot of ways just as important as our Eagle required, because it shows kids, gets them introduced to potential hobbies that they may do as adults.
Do you have any examples of the hobby badges?
Sure. We have a woodworking badge where kids can learn that, a blacksmithing merit badge where they can learn about blacksmithing. We have a cooking merit badge. We have a pets merit badge, all kinds of stuff, aviation, just about every topic out there that we've come up with a badge for it so the kids can get exposure to it and decide what they like to do.
What about citizenship?
Yes, multiple levels of citizenship merit badge. We have citizenship in the society, in the community, and in the nation and in the world. And we require that the kids, those are part of our Eagle required package that they have to take so that they know their place in the community.
Give me an example of what a community citizenship badge would entail?
So one of the things that the kids have to do as part of that package is they need to go to a community meeting. And that could be a school board meeting, that could be a government meeting, to gain exposure to that. They also have to interview a civic leader in their community and learn about how they became a civic leader, the work they had to do, what their daily life is, so that again, they can gain that exposure to some of that.
That's very interesting. So when they do that, do they come back to the group and present what they learned?
Yes.
Okay.
So one of the things that they have to do in that package is they need to do a speech in front of their other scouts, where they get to present on what they learned, and also practice their public speaking.
All of this sounds wonderful, but it costs money as well, right? So tell us a little bit about how much does it cost? How do you fundraise? And then maybe we can get into the awards dinner that's coming up.
Absolutely. Great. To be a member in our organization, it is $150 per youth, $77 per adult for adult leaders. That cost can be mitigated greatly by our youth. We encourage them to earn their own way. So once they're enrolled in our program, we offer a camp card sale that we're doing right now in the spring. And 50% of what's earned goes to that kid to pay for camp, uniform, registration, whatever they want. And it's very similarly done for the popcorn sale that we do in the fall. They sell popcorn, and a portion of that goes to that kid to cover those fees. We do still have a lot of families that request financial aid every year when we sign up kids. And fortunately, our council has been able to do that consistently for the kids in Ocala, so that no kid is barred from the program because of cost. We do that through fundraising with community partners, which is kind of what dovetails into the dinner. One of our biggest ways that we keep our camp properties going and keep our scholarships for our kids and for our leaders is through our American Values Dinner, which is our community partnership dinner in Ocala. This year it's going to be on April 8th. And Valerie, you're going to be one of our honorees.
How about that? I'm an honoree this
Absolutely.
year. How about that?
And then we'll also be honoring Sheriff Billy Woods. That dinner serves three purposes. Number one, we educate the community partners that are there on what's going on with scouting in Marion County right now, so that they know when they make a donation, what they're donating to, what's happening. And then we obviously honor two great community leaders that exemplify our values of what we're trying to teach our kids to be, because ultimately we want our scouts to become leaders in their community. And then lastly, and importantly, we need to raise the money to make sure we can do it all for another year. Thankfully, here in Ocala, we've been blessed with some great partners, but we're always looking for more.
Right. And so the dinner is
April 8th.
Okay. And sponsorships are available. How does one sponsor a table or a kid, or what? How do?
Absolutely. So our dinner is not a ticketed event. We do ask that anybody attend consider a donation of $250 or more. We encourage people to either attend as individuals, or if they're able to, sponsor a table. Our sponsorships start at $2,500 and go up from there to help cover the cost of that table and also support scouting. To become a sponsor or to RSVP to come to the event, they can either contact me directly. My email is truman.magley@scouting.org. There is also a way to pledge or give online through our organization.
What better way to support our community and love where we live by supporting Boy Scouts of America here in Marion County? I'm honored to have been selected to share with everyone this wonderful organization, and hope that it's very successful. And thank you for your time and efforts in making it a valuable program to Marion County.
Thank you, Valerie. We will have a great event this year, and I'm honored that both you and Sheriff Woods have agreed to be honorees this year and help support us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks to Truman for joining us today, and we look forward to being with you once again next month, right here on Discover Ocala, presented by Showcase Properties of Central Florida.
Discover Ocala is presented by Showcase Properties of Central Florida. As an independent brokerage firm for over 2 decades, Showcase Properties has helped customers throughout Central Florida achieve their real estate goals. Showcase Realtors offer expertise in a variety of property types and price points, and their services go beyond just buying and selling. Visit showcaseocala.com to connect with a dedicated local realtor and start your unique real estate journey today. We also want to thank you, the listener, for taking time to discover Ocala with us. We hope you enjoyed this month's episode, and if you did, please consider leaving us a review or rating wherever you're listening, or even telling a friend about us. If you have any questions on other organizations, individuals, or events you'd like to see covered in future episodes, you can get in touch with us directly at Discover Ocala at showcaseocala.com. See you next month.